Good evening, ECAC. Welcome back to week 2 of the Overwatch 2 playoffs. Tonight, I'm joined by my fellow caster, Althea, and our observer, Beldia. For the team breakdowns, I'm going to pass it to Althea.
How's it going? Yeah, tonight we have the semifinals for the Overwatch teams here. Looking at the blue team here, we have Ball State from Ball State University from Muncie, Indiana. They have a record right now of 6-1. And Binghamton on the right, Binghamton University out of Binghamton, New York, with a record of 5-1. So both these teams are pretty even. BU just played one less game. And the last time these two teams faced, Ball State 3-0'd Binghamton. So we're going to see if Binghamton's able to come back here with a little bit of revenge in their eyes.
Yeah, going to be looking for that win, definitely, if they have been bested previously. We do see the Malga out of Ball State here on Droid. And we do have Reels on the Sigma for Binghamton for the tank plays.
Yeah,
these are about midpoint here.
These are two very interesting comps, very separate, especially with the Reaper Echo. We haven't seen a lot of that. The May is to be expected. We also haven't seen much Sigma, like you said, so I think this will be definitely an interesting matchup to see how we're playing. We're seeing Ball State really wrap around and take a lot of space around this point. We're going to see if they can really close in and execute on Binghamton, but Binghamton does get the point.
Yeah, we saw the Binghamton really just kind of stepped onto the point and Ball State backed off a bit. Retake with some fire, some passion. Take it before Binghamton's even at 10%.
Yeah, not
falling a little low for Ball State too.
Not a lot of picks going out. There we go. First pick onto Reels from Droid. And we're going to see Binghamton get pushed back on their spawn here with a couple good picks from BSU's DPS here. Getting really aggressive with the Reaper, pushing up to the spawn doors.
Yeah, you see Ghost trying to get a few on the way out, maybe stagger a few, just waste some time. We are going to see some ults now online. Ball State with the first one, that Orbital Ray from Spencer. And be looking to build the rest. Comes out right away. Ball State going to be taking the fight to Binghamton in their side room. Unable to find anything just yet. With 40 finding 2, though, it seems now that Ball State will win this fight. And Binghamton will go for the reset.
I mean, we saw Binghamton there try and use the Lucio, just speed boost, get away from that orbital ray, but from there, they're pushed in that side room. They got isolated with the May wall, and or with the May, got kind of cut off, and then from there was some easy picks, and we're going to see Reels reset and see if they can come back here with a lot of these ults. We're going to see almost a full game here other than the orbital ray. 5
full ults for Binghamton. We do have the Death Blossom. Oh, wow. Ball State supports the Death Blossom, as well as the rest of the team, and finds Binghamton there.
That's pretty
crazy.
Be
really low percentage.
I mean, we see Champ commit that Blizzard, gonna get the switch to Tracer probably for the contest, but they were able to hold that with just the Death Blossom close. They're gonna have pretty easy time here holding this, I think.
Yeah, we do have the cage fight too. Malga gonna be holding some of the members of Binghamton off the point. Ball State not able to keep him off entirely, though. Was being contested.
Back with that beat.
Yeah, beat's huge from Mr. Man. Ghost finding a pick onto Champ and Lotus now. 2 down for the side of Binghamton. Make it 3. Ghost finds massive value there right at the end. And Ball State take the first round.
Yeah, that was really impressive from Ball State there. I mean, especially at the start, they had no issue giving up point because they knew that they were able to get aggressive, especially with the Malga and the Juno, just being able to take so much damage and push up. Binghamton has no option other than to just back up and let them take it. And, I mean, you can see them struggling there. They made a couple swaps. They weren't able to get any great May walls just because BSU is playing together so well. You're really not going to be able to isolate that Malga, which unfortunately is really the only way you're going to be able to take care of it, is getting a good May wall or possibly even like an anti-nade. But they're not running the Ana, so you can't really get that.
Ana, and you don't have that Zen Discord orb.
Of course,
it's going to be a lot harder to deal with that Malga. Yeah, you're right. We're going to see if they can do it here, as we have Ball State already on that point with the Juno. Beating him up, getting him there a little quicker. T-Champ finding the first pick with a nice headshot onto Bordy. Spencer returns one, though, onto the support. Picks now in favor of Binghamton.
You see, good
Testing
nice
the point.
droid.
Yeah, Maywall comes down from Champ. Helps Binghamton here as they're pushing back Ball State. Still finding some picks. As they have that point capped and gaining progression now.
I mean, it's looking a lot better for Binghamton here. Possibly the map control as well. I mean, it's much tighter angles here, especially with the May. That's going to be really helpful. The window as well from Hank coming out soon is going to be pretty detrimental to the fight, especially if they're able to get it here before ESU is able to push on at this point.
Yeah, we see Droid only at that 30% now. Unable to build that ult charge up too much. Binghamton definitely on the upper hand in the ult economy here. Probably won't be keen on saving them either. Probably going to try to use them here quick.
I think it's much harder to take the space with the Mauga here, especially where it's such a narrow pathway you need to go down into this team. I mean, you know the May wall's there, and yeah, looking at the ults here, Droid's only at 40, and that's a Blizzard.
Blizzard into the orbital ray. Lotus finds two, one with the Deadeye. Couple more picks for Binghamton.
That's going to be a
And
reset.
Ball State is going to reset again, yeah.
I mean, that was really good.
Really,
I mean, like
really
I said,
well,
that's a quadruple ult commitment, though, from Hampton. I didn't see the lantern or the window come out from Hank, but clearly it worked out. And we saw BSU commit the orbital ray, but they're going to be able to come back here with about 4 ults in a moment. Hopefully the rally will be enough for them to get more help to be able to actually push on the point without dying so early.
Yeah, we're going to see Mr. Man with that beat drop. Really the only ult that's going to be up for Binghamton this fight. Maywall's the Mauga. Droid cannot get onto point running through. T-Champ does find one. Rally comes out now from Ball State.
Good beat.
Beat dropped. Just a big health pool fight for right now.
Yeah, they're going to take the point, but how long will they be able to hold it? We're seeing a duplicated Blizzard
T-Champ
blocked
blocks
by
the
the
May
May wall.
wall. Yeah, that was beautiful from T-Champ. Recognizing that that Echo was about to have the echoed May ult.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, good recognition from T-Champ. Binghamton now building some of those ults back. Gonna try to just maybe ult dump Ball State here and take that point back.
I do think Ball State will be a much better condition here with this map control, though. Being able to really work it, not have to be forced down a narrow pathway.
Yeah, we see those ults coming out now. Orbital Ray from Spencer, Blizzard from Champ.
I think that's just enough to be able to back up.
Yeah,
but they're gonna
it
have
looks
to
like
commit
Ball
orbital
State
ray.
has run him off.
I mean, pretty good. Binghamton knows they're not going to try and take that 4v5, especially when it's a May. The May is really good at isolating and getting their early picks, but I don't know. We're going to see a lot of ults here come out with the from Binghamton.
Yeah, we saw that cage strike from Droid. Gonna help a few of the members from Ball State get those picks. Still on the bridge is Binghamton now.
You know, it's a 3v3, and it looks like Binghamton's going to get aggressive.
Amplification Matrix from Hank. Unable to get too much value, though. Gonna be pushing on the point now is Binghamton. Met with Droid and Spencer on the Mauga Juno. Gonna have to back up a bit. Give some space.
That's going to be hard because we do know it's a really hard retake, but they're going to have Ghost on the back here. Do they even have a touch?
Whoa.
They don't
We actually
because
have
of
the
the
May
May
wall.
wall.
Champ with another
Wow.
perfect May wall to just stop the push from Ball State.
Yeah, that was really, really impressive May there. I think that was really the MVP for that point there was definitely T-Champ on the May. Just incredible walls and shutdowns. I mean, being able to cut off anybody from the supports, especially a Mauga, is detrimental. But you don't need to cut them off when all you need to do is cut them off from point. It's just,
Yeah.
I mean, BSU is already at a disadvantage with their map control there. The May doesn't help.
No, we're not going to see Any swaps, I believe. We did see Bordy now
Bordy's on
favoring
the
that
May.
May. Yeah, gonna see what T-Champ was able to do that last map.
I think that will make a significant difference as, I mean, Binghamton doesn't have any big, like, wall shred compared to, like, the Reaper or the Mauga. So I think the May might lean in favor of BSU here, but I think it'll be interesting to see with this map as well, where you have the open point, but you also have these close corridors on the side.
Yeah, there we see the May walls both coming down too. Like you said, it seems like Ball State could get a little bit more out of it just for right there. Gonna be tried to get healed up by Spencer from Ball State. Now gonna be a fight on point as Reels finds one. Binghamton now up 3 picks. Gonna take the point now.
Yeah, I haven't commented on it yet, but mostly because of the Juno Brig just having enough healing, but Sigma is a decent counter to the Mauga because Mauga really shines off the lifesteal. When you activate that Cardiac Overdrive, you're going to do a great job at healing, and with the Sigma Shield and the Grasp, you're going to deny all of those bullets, and it's basically an anti-nade for him. He's not going to be able to get healed off of his own drive.
Yeah, while also giving Sigma that nice overshield too.
Oh, perfect
Those
wall.
May walls just perfectly placed by Champ. Really well execution on the May so far. Gonna have some ults now for Binghamton. Probably not afraid to use them. Just gonna wait for Ball State's push. With the Blizzard and High Noon. Deadeye. Binghamton might feel safe to not pop any more ults and just defend the point.
I mean, Blizzard is just such a good area control type of ultimate. I mean, you gotta back up, you gotta separate from the rest of your team or just die. And I mean, those that get caught out, you can see them die for it, and we're gonna see BSU back to spawn.
Yeah, back to spawn to swap the Ramatra, actually.
Yeah, that is an interesting swap as well. I'm interested to see how it'll play into the Sigma. The shield would definitely be much more helpful, alleviate a lot of that damage coming out.
Ooh, Amplification Matrix from Hank. Tried to get countered by the Blizzard from Bordy. Not going to be left to die. Hank doing a really well job at keeping Binghamton alive right there. Reels with the Flux, or with the Graviton Flux, able to find Droid. We see Binghamton now swinging the fight in their favor.
Oh,
with a team kill on the Ball State.
I mean, we saw them commit a lot of ults early on, but like especially the beat and the window, but it was really just shut down with the May wall. Again, just really the player of the game is that wall, and I think that just kind of leaned it in favor of Binghamton after it dropped. They still had him up.
Yeah, we have Lotus here with the Deadeye. Everyone just playing hide and seek. Not going to be found. Binghamton's still up. Finding Yakester too.
You see the
Death Blossom from Ghost.
And it's
unable to find anything though. Another Amplification Matrix from Hank. 40 falls. What a fight on point right now. Heavy contention. Not going to go either way.
They're going to see a
Droid
beat.
with the Annihilation. Oh, but falls the champ. And
I mean,
yeah, we have
that
Binghamton taking that first map.
Yeah, that was definitely a team fight we saw at the end there. Much different pace than the first map as well. I think that was just kind of a change in environment, especially with the May and the Cassidy doing really well, just shooting down range. Oh wow, was that a shot through the May wall? Like
he found a crack in the ice and was able to hit the brig on the other side of that.
That was a very good high noon there. I believe that was from Yakester.
No, I think it was Lotus, but
oh yeah, okay. Apologies.
Either way, though, yeah, really great plays from Binghamton there. Like you were saying, that last point, that was just an all-out brawl from each team, and we saw that Binghamton just squeaked away with it at the end there. We will see what the next map is, though, and see what Ball State can do.
I mean, I believe it is hybrid. The pretty classic pick is Kings Row. So
Typically.
looking at who they were running, I'm expecting very similar comps. I'm expecting a
Yep.
May on the offense, defense possibly as well, just maybe not from BSU. They weren't really in favor of it. But I think that being able to just stay alive and hold high ground, probably the Ana with the Brig, and then making sure you have some kind of DPS on the back of point on the high ground, just stopping them from coming up is
Yeah, it's always a
really
really good
detrimental.
hold.
But it also really depends on what the attacking team wants to do. If they want to play dive and get aggressive on point, I think that defense strat works well. But if they immediately are going to the side and taking that high ground, that's kind of where it falls apart. And that's when the team
Mm,
needs to fall back and make sure the DPS and the support on the high ground don't get caught out.
100%. And with that May play too, if we do see it from either side, it won't surprise me if that gets paired with an Orisa. You see that comp run out a lot, and we've seen both of these Mays definitely know how to play May and can get some really good walls onto the enemies.
For
And
sure.
I think that's gonna help them in this next hybrid map,
Yeah, I
regardless.
mean, we've seen a lot of maze in general here, but that's the
Mm,
benefit here of being in the semifinals. We're seeing some amazing players doing really well on the heroes that they are playing. And I think I've mentioned it before. The tank 1v1 is always awesome to see, but I think the Mei
mm.
1v1 is just even better because the Mays themselves are never directly fighting. It's just fighting against the team as a whole. Looks like we
Yeah,
will be
having
going
to
to Kings Row.
Yeah, with the maze having to pull out that utility with the walls and then the slow with the headshots. I mean, like I said, you saw them both playing really well there. I don't got to describe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, we will be going on to King's Row. So it would not surprise me if we see that Arisa May come out. But like you said, this is the semifinals.
Yeah,
And
so
whoever loses this one is out of contention for first place, but will be in for third place actually. And then
yeah,
the
there will
winner
be a
will go
loser bracket.
to the finals. Yeah.
And although we won't be watching that game next week, or not next week because it is Thanksgiving, the week after that, we will be watching the grand finals, which will be interesting. Which the other teams playing right now, I believe, are Fisher and
SHU, I believe it
Siena
is.
Heights. Yeah, Fisher
Mhm.
and Siena Heights. So the winner of that will go against the winner of this in the grand finals. Again, important to mention, this is going to be a long one. It's best of 7 compared to the best of 5
Mm.
typically. So first to 5 is the winner.
But I'm here
Um,
for it. And
yeah,
honestly,
I'm
both of these
definitely here
teams
for it.
have shown enough fight that I think it could go all the way. We
I
could go the
don't
distance here.
I don't think it's even going to be close to a 3-0. I can promise you that.
No,
I
there's some
or
fights
5-0.
here. We have these
These
teams
teams are
showing
both
some
very
life.
skilled. I mean, we saw the first point on Lijiang Tower was fully in favor of Ball State. They're doing
Yeah.
really good job with the Mauga and everything, but the second 2 points it just kind of fell apart. I'm not sure if it was the positioning or the team play or the hero picks, but we definitely
Yeah,
saw
like you were saying,
Binghamton with a good turnaround.
the Sigma play was really good from Binghamton. Really helped them there too. Because like you said, it's almost kind of like an anti-heal for that Malga when he can't get those shots off, and it only empowers that Sigma even more when you do. So
For
we'll
sure,
see.
that combined with the
But,
May is pretty tough.
oh yeah, absolutely lethal. We have Lotus here and Champ on some sniper picks.
Yeah, so we're
I'm
gonna see
curious if we can
Ramatra.
get a one.
It's interesting too. We're gonna see, like I kind of said, we're gonna see the sniper up on the high ground. But what I'm interested in is the monkey. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a swap though. Yeah, we're gonna see quite a big team swap.
Yeah.
Same comp, similar actually. We're seeing an Ash this time. The Ash 1v1, good May wall, but captures the
Oh
supports
yeah.
as well. And we're
Before
gonna
he puts up
see
that wall and gets immediately all heads turned.
Binghamton already taking a lot of space here. Probably going to push the high ground. They're going to recognize Ghost is up there and say, yeah, we're not going to be able to play into this. We're going to do our very best. But we're going to see BSU chase them into the back here.
Yeah.
They said, you're taking the high ground, we'll do it too. With that main
right
wall,
up the stairs.
they're just taking the point.
Yeah, now we do have Binghamton pushing onto that point, but it seems like Ball State is fine just following them wherever they go. A few more picks.
What
Still some
is Hank
contention
doing
on
all the
point.
way back there?
That
is my question.
Is what it
is
seems
Hank?
like onto Yakester, I think it was. And then getting up the point and finishing the tank.
Yeah, Spencer's able to get the pick, and it looks like we're gonna see Binghamton get the map control here. That was a lot going on. I mean, we saw, we saw Hank basically in BSU's spawn fighting, I believe, Yakester. But we're gonna.
I think
we're
if
gonna
we get an eagle eye of that with some Scooby-Doo music, it would be kind of fun. Because that was just some nonsense, just running all over. But yeah, Binghamton walks out with it, pushing that point now. The Sigma ult brings Droid to his death. Yeah, might have been a solo ult. Still down a tank though for Ball State, and they do have to back up now.
Yeah, that is especially on Kings Row, that is a long spawn to get back. That's going to give Binghamton the space they need, especially being able to get through these choke points that early. That is a fantastic pick from them.
And they're even playing up a bit here.
Get some ice cream on the wall. Lucio is very good, though, for being able to retake it. We're going to see some ults here, too. We see Bob, Blizzard building up from T-Champ. Probably going to come out soon. We're going to see Ghost on the flank here.
Yep, there's that Blizzard from Champ, as well as the Annihilation and Bob from Droid and Ghost. Picks going both ways still, though. A lot of ults used for Ball State, only retaining 2.
Once again, these teams are going to be able to keep their momentum going. It's going to be Droid with Juno up, Droid and Spencer. And they're just ignoring it for the most part.
Droid just getting healed up by that Juno, by Spencer. Blizzard from Bordy now. Not going to use it. They're going to take down the Bob real quick.
Taken out.
Rest easy, Bob. Beat drop from Mr. Man and Yakester. Blizzard from Bordy falls to Mr. Man, though. Couple picks from Ball State now. Looks like it's going to end Binghamton's push. Just shy of that second point.
Finally able to get Ball State. The stagger, gonna see if she can. It looks like T-Champ's going for the suicide. Will they be able to?
Gonna be denied of it.
Oh, the boop
out of the way.
Oh, that is a really good stagger from
that. You look up stagger in a dictionary, and that's what you're seeing right there.
For sure. I was hoping we could see the Maywall from Bordy as well, just to prevent it, but I think that boop was satisfying enough from Yakester. But attack is much easier to come back than the defense here. We're gonna see them take part of the high ground. Going into this, we're gonna have the not too many ults really in favor of Binghamton here with the window and the Gratific Flux though.
Yeah, we're gonna see what they can use here. There's the Gravitic Flux. Gonna find 2 now. Binghamton up. Gonna see if they can keep pushing back Ball State and secure that second point.
Again, like, oh, never mind. Yeah, that was good from Binghamton being able to take that, especially where they only commit the Flux. They're gonna have that window up. Gonna be good for this second point. We're gonna see the Pharah swap from Bordy. Yeah, interesting here, but we're gonna do an Ashe. It'll be...
Yeah, Lotus does have that Ashe pick. Gonna be just locked on.
You're gonna have you're gonna have a hard time getting into that fight. Going in this next fight, though, we do have the Blizzard as well as the Orbital Ray from Spencer.
Oh yeah, couple ults coming down now. It seems like Droid does it better with the Annihilation, finding 3, picking up a 4th on the way out though.
I mean, that was really unfortunate too from Binghamton committing that blizzard last second, as well as the window. They just got
Yeah, the
ran down that
amplification matrix.
orbital ray, sorry, with the annihilation. Is just too much to handle. Especially, I mean, ESU running the Lucio Juno, you're gonna have a very fast annihilation running around.
Oh yeah, and we saw that droid was just running down Binghamton there. Bob coming out from Ball State, gonna be running all the way to the back though. Gonna put some good fire on the back line. Reels find Bordy. And it looks like Ball State's just gonna hold this corner now. Remaining members of Binghamton are pushing. Gonna have some ults now.
Bob come out. Both beats are available for both sides. Droid's gonna fall after getting isolated by the May wall.
Yeah, getting rocked and the May wall, just putting Droid on the ground and sectioned out.
We're gonna see them just run out to spawn with the swap to the Widow.
Yep.
How are you gonna touch with that? Oh, there we
Touch
go.
with the Tracer though.
And the pick with the
Bordy.
Widow on a Lotus.
Still on. Bordy does fall, and the point does get capped for Binghamton with 1:15 left on their clock. Not a bad time.
We did see a pick from Ghost there at the end on the Widow, but I'm not sure. That's not really the character you go for a last-minute contest. I think if we just saw something maybe a little more agile, probably could have seen that last a little longer, especially where Droid was coming up on that annihilation. But I do think that
maybe,
especially with how
maybe
quickly
trying to
they
find some
lost that first point, as well as the distance Binghamton was able to get from the second, a minute on the clock is not bad.
No, not bad at all. 1:15 is just about what you'd want, really. I mean, it's always better if you have more, but that's not going to be too bad. Gonna see what Ball State can do on the attack now.
Yeah,
and if Binghamton can hold them outside.
Looking at the same team comp, the Faro will definitely have much more power in this first point than the last one. The quick swap, though, looks like they're going to go for the possible shield on the Widow. I'm interested to see if they stay with the Widow or not, or if they're going to make the swap.
Yeah, we might see what Binghamton did, or yeah, what Binghamton did, where they tried to look for that first pick, realized that they weren't even playing into it, and just swap right away.
For sure.
Ghost, just looking for anything. Now, just gonna go make that swap real quick, get it over with.
The Ash. Seeing the monkey on attack though for the commit.
Yeah, Droid's sticking with the Winston.
Able to make
just
a lot
on that
of
high ground in the back. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what he's going for. Just running around on that back line now. Hyper Ring's gonna... It's looking like teams are just swapping, like, spawns here.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing the attack on the high ground and the defense on the attack. This is how it went last time, though. And we're seeing
Ghost
two
finding crucial picks, though, yeah. Really nice stuff. Seems as if Champ is going to be one of the last ones to fall for this hold from Binghamton.
I wonder if they're able to save the Sigma till after the cap. It looks like they're trying for that. No, he's just going to fall.
Yes, Ball State start this payload rolling a lot faster than Binghamton did.
But that's going to be a long spawn for reals here. Especially with no Lucio. They have the Juno, though. Or no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong board. Yep. They do have the Lucio.
Gonna get that taxi.
Get my teams a little mixed up. We're gonna have Fair on the payload, and we're gonna see Binghamton really pushed back here, especially by that monkey. Being able to fall back, the shield on the Ash is definitely very good. And with the Ana playing so far back, I mean, the monkey is gonna be able to just jump up, take as much space and pressure and damage and abilities. Just taking everything from Binghamton and then being able to just drop back and get healed back and do it again. They're gonna solo Blizzard the monkey as well.
Yeah, it looks like
Nano.
Droid did go for it. But being kept alive by the support and a Nano from Spencer. saying, "You will not be killing my Winston today." Gonna now push up. Ball State with a few more ults now. Orbital Ray from Yakester comes out. Amplification Matrix on the side of Binghamton. Bob, though, holding some of the members of Binghamton back.
So
His payload is
committed.
more than halfway.
2 ults committed from BSU as well as the window from Hank. Ult advantage, I'm going to say, is in favor of Binghamton here. You're going to get a lot more out of Gratific Flux and Beat than you are the Pharah ult.
Ooh, Champ falling very low to Bordy there. Reels finding one with the ult, Droid finding two, and a third.
I guess I take back what I said. You're going to get a lot more value out of the Primal than you will the Gratific Flux. I mean, I'm eating my own words here, but we're going to see another
potentially a caster's curse as Droid goes crazy in the back line of Binghamton. And Ball State is going to cap this second point very fast.
I mean, Droid did a great job.
4 minutes and 40 seconds to push this last one.
Yeah, I mean, you're sitting pretty with that for BSU. It's looking pretty good on the attack here.
Ooh. Champ finding a good pick to maybe slow down Ball State now.
Yeah, the switch to Hanzo is very interesting. You're going to be able to keep a lot of this high ground and put pressure on that Ana, which is going to disconnect the line of sight from the Winston. It's definitely going to be, I'd say, a good pick.
Yeah, we do have Ball State backing up now, giving some space to Binghamton. A Bob from Lotus comes out as well. Spencer cut off from the rest of the group. Not dead yet, though. A Nano Boost comes out onto Droid. Ball State now looking to just fight again. Now, Bordy does have that Rocket Barrage, but is going to be in a hard spot to use it against the Ash Hanzo.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing Bordy still sitting on this barrage, but I don't think they've used it since second point. I don't
That's
think
what I'm saying.
it
It's going to be a little bit harder.
I mean, they're already up.
Get that ult down.
Their beat was just used, but they're going to have that lamp as well. They're going to need to kill Hank first. A lot of ults going to be building up for BSU here. Binghamton's going to have to match with something.
We are going to see this orbital ray come down from Yakester. Start this point with the Gravitic Flux from Reels. 40 now, showing
Perfect
why
barrage.
we saved that barrage.
You see that window down, both supports in the corner, and you know that's when you got to use it.
Yeah, Team Kill is going to give them virtually 3 minutes for this next point, for this next push they have. Compared to Binghamton's minute 15. Certainly a stronger push from Ball State on Kings Row.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, almost more than double the time for BSU. Binghamton's going to be back on the attack. And, I mean, I think it's looking good. Both teams have basically fallen the same way on defense of just getting the high ground, swapping positions, and then the defense fall because they're on the attack side. And I mean, almost every point's pretty defense oriented, so that's exactly what you want to do, is just swap them, force them back, and from there we see the good play from both teams. So we're going to see if Binghamton is able to kind of swap what they do here. Or I guess they're going to want to continue doing it. We're going to see if BSU on the defense is going to kind of see if they can change that up and hold the high ground a little bit better. And we're seeing Droid on the Monkey on defense as well.
Yeah, on that high ground you can see. I think they're doing just that. Is they're going to try to protect this high ground a bit more.
Yeah, that'll allow for, I mean, a lot more pressure with the dive. The Pharah as well with the aerial pressure. It's going to be hard to shoot it when you have the Monkey on you as well as the Ash. So I kind of do like the Winston pick here.
Yeah, I think this is going to help Ball State out big time on this defense. Not that they had too much of a problem with their defense last time for the first point.
And we see Binghamton already recognizes the Monkey. They're going to go and pressure him.
Yep.
We see Droid fall back a little. Already 60 seconds on the clock.
Fall back 2 point now as Binghamton is going to storm the point, start capping. Ball State taking some damage though. Pushing back Binghamton now.
we see BSU with a lot more map control, especially if they're able to continue holding that high ground. I don't think they're going to be able to cap it. They do have people on the point, but I think, yeah, we're going to see a lot of pressure out from the Monkey.
Yeah, we saw Droid deny that first tick on the point as well. Unfortunately, now having to let it go.
Yeah, the
As
drop
it
on Bordy
seems
is tough.
Binghamton might have it set up right now.
Yeah, I mean, right here, especially where there's no extra time being put in the bank, they really don't have to commit a lot to contesting this. The only thing they have to do is just to let the time wind down and commit to the team kill. But with 2 from BSU, they might not have to do that. They might just keep this point for themselves.
Yeah, only a couple seconds left. If these picks come through from Ball State quickly,
Ooh.
Binghamton might not be, are still in overtime, contesting the point for right now.
But how long can
Just
Lucio
Mr.
and a Widow
Man.
do that?
Lotus does fall as Binghamton is stopped just shy of capping that first point.
I mean, 95% with a minute. It's better than nothing, I guess. You're gonna have 3 minutes on the clock to basically hold the entire point, and you saw Binghamton being able to take the space they needed, and even though they didn't take the high ground, we saw Hank get a good pick onto Bordy, the Pharah, and from there they lost all of their aerial control, forcing a lot more pressure onto Droid on the Winston on point, which I think is part of the reason they fell. Is just Droid was taking so much damage. There was a lot more distractions going around. I think we also saw a Tracer swap from T-Champ, just a lot more pressure
Yeah,
onto BSU.
yeah, I'm thinking that it was a really good play there from Ball State to back up and let them take that point, even though that it got to 95% it was. They knew that they had to just hold off for a little bit longer, get healed up, and then retake as a team. And like you mentioned, those picks right there at the end, as the time was winding down, were pretty crucial in securing that for Ball State. So I'm curious what they're gonna do here. We saw that first point go pretty quickly last time. Let's see what Ball State can do here this time.
We're seeing the
Ghost
Widow
on
the
that Widow.
defense, which is a first. Being able, as well as the Tracer, going to see the match from Bordy onto the Pharah again. See if Binghamton's able to hit their shots, but immediately it's going to get dove by the Winston.
Yep.
Pressured by the
Droid
Lucio.
recognizing it and diving that Widow immediately.
And Bordy's going to have a hard time here playing into this Widow. Good sleep though into T-Champ with the anti.
T-Champ just narrowly making it out. Got some pressure put on them. Droid now starting capping. Ghost with a dynamite kill onto Champ. Reels does find Droid though. But Reels almost falls. Purple now, 40 HP, 40 with the kill last second as the Baptiste shot was traveling in to heal him.
That was a really
and now Ball
rough
State
ball.
might be able to take this as Binghamton is without a tank.
Oh, easy. Good pick on a Hank as well as the pick on a T-Champ. We're seeing Binghamton
40 and Ghost, yeah.
We're seeing them just throwing themselves at this point with the Malga. Last attempt
Yeah, everything
purple
in the
nade.
book.
That's going to be Ball State's win. That was really tough from Binghamton, especially where how you're dying there is much more staggered. You're not going to get the option to be able to touch like Binghamton did on defense.
Yeah, that last hold there, or I should say the push from Ball State was really well. I mean, fleshed out completely that even though Droid died a little early on, the damage and the supports were still able to hold off and find those picks that they needed. And once Droid was back, they were able to just cap that almost for free.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we saw just an incredible hold from BSU being able, like you said, just knowing that they can give up that space and retake it. Binghamton just wasn't ready for it. And I mean, we see a lot of last minute swaps as well that like the Widowmaker last minute swap. I just feel like that can't get as much value as something like a Tracer might with the contest, being able to pressure the supports or even just staying on point more. Because, I mean, you see the contest there, especially. The only one on defense on point is the tank. And Widow's not going to do too much into that. So I feel like if we saw something a little stronger for the contest, it may have gone a little differently for Binghamton. But
Hmm.
these guys are much higher ranks than me. They're definitely hitting a lot more Widow shots than people in my lobbies. So can't be too sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they have their own calls and picks for everything, and I guess that one just ended up going Ball State's way. Like we said, they had a. It just looked like they had the better attack as well as defense on Kings Row there.
I think what it really came down to was the monkey. The monkey did a lot when it came to applying pressure and just getting the picks you needed. I mean, I think we saw a triple on the attack with the primal, as well as the monkey on defense being able to back up as well and just go back in so much easier. I mean, most tanks like a Ramacha or an Orisa, you're going to have a lot harder time falling back and retaking that space. But with the monkey being able to jump in, use that shield, and I mean, from there, that shield as well is going to be protecting a majority of that back line. So I do like that pick, especially into what Binghamton was using. There's not too much that was countering it.
Yeah, and I expect to see no different on the push map than the Winston from Ball State again. I mean, they're definitely have shown that Droid can play it and is really good at it. So I think that they're just gonna fall in line and go for a dive kind of composition on our push map.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we do see it in a lot of push maps. The idea of diving into the other backline, but I think it's going to be much different than this. I think we will see some kind of dive, but I think we'll see the teams playing much closer together. We've seen the Lucio as well as the Juno and the Brig. Those are great picks. Baptiste is going to be a little hard. The utility is really good on the Baptiste, but I'm just not sure how well he's going to be able to play into push. But we'll see what these teams are going to go with and how it works out for them.
Yeah, and I'm
What's
curious if Binghamton's gonna go for that dive pick as well.
Yeah,
But
going into
we are in
Runasapi,
now. Yeah, on Runasapi. I think
gonna
it's my favorite
have
push map out of the bunch.
I, it's controversial. I kind of like Coliseo. It's not in the map pool, but I
That's
don't mind
definitely
it.
controversial, I think.
I think that yeah, you know what? I don't know. It's all right. I think I just don't like push in general, so it's kind of hard to
Yeah,
pick.
at the end of the day, they're push maps.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to
how
play
good can
push
it
to be
get?
on them, unfortunately.
For a push map, I'd say it's okay, but
Yeah,
I think
okay.
in general, I'm not a huge fan of it. We're gonna
Gonna see the
see
comps now.
the Doomfist. I was gonna
Doomfist.
say I'm kind of excited. I hope to see a Doomfist. I wasn't expecting it. You know what? I also was not even close to expecting was a Mercy. That
Yeah, from
is
Mr. Man.
not
Might see
something.
that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a swap, possibly to a Lucio or Juno. But yeah, there it is. I just don't think Mercy's gonna get as much value as Lucio or something
No,
would here.
probably not. We do see Spencer with the Ana pick again. Yakester on the Juno as well. Gonna be a lot of healing on the side of Ball State. Now taking this outside fight. Binghamton on the robot now. Realizing that the enemy team does have that Doomfist.
I think
Address that situation.
I think Bordy is
Potential
definitely
little
going to have
tracer
a hard
fight.
time pushing. Bordy's going to have a hard time pushing in this fight, especially with the Cassidy, as well as I mean, just in general, the whole team sticking together well. I'm not sure how much value you're going to be able to get out of it. We're seeing a good kind of surrounding. We're seeing Binghamton really surrounding BSU here.
Yeah, being able to great pick from Lotus on the way out, but unfortunately, it looks like Ball State gonna pick up the rest.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
you
was
saw them
only,
like kind of surrounding, like you said,
was-
just getting all around them.
Yeah, it was almost like they gave up a decent amount of space just to be able to have the Tracer and the Ashe on the flank. as well as the Doom being able to just dive in. From there, you're getting shot from so many angles that you're not going to be, the supports aren't going to be able to heal all of them. One of them is going to fall, and from there, it's just who dies first.
Yeah, we now have Binghamton on their second hold now. It looks like Ball State's just going to give up a little bit of space.
I mean, they
Fight
have the
back
lead.
a little bit. Ooh, Bordy finding Champ in the back.
It's real unfortunate.
Hitting the Tracer 1, I believe. We see Droid just able to jump in there too. Do a lot of damage, build that ult. Just be a thorn in the side of Binghamton.
I mean, you don't need to keep pushing the bot if Binghamton can't push it back. You know, I mean, the Doom is just enough to be able to dive in, cause enough havoc to force Binghamton to back up, then dive out to get the heal. Now we're seeing
we saw that
T-Champ causing a real headache for the supports in the back. That's going to disconnect it from Droid. Staying alive with the ult. Nano to stay alive.
Almost getting Mr. Man there, I believe. Do we have a cancel on the
I believe that was an Ajax from Droid. Very unfortunate.
Very.
For Binghamton. And we saw 3 ults there committed from Binghamton, and looks like 4 or 5 from BSU. I believe Droid used at the start. So we are going to come out here with the Gerdivic Flux as well as the High Noon, which is going to work significantly well. It's a pretty good combo, but we're going to see how they use it. Especially, I mean, looking at how spread out BSU is here, you're not going to be able to hit a 5-man Gerdivic Flux.
No, it's going to be much harder.
T-Champ going around, trying to find Sensor in the back. The support. So, you know, weird flank here as well. Purple on Lucio.
Yeah, gonna have some fights in the back here. Looks like T-Champ was putting some aggression onto Ghost in the back, but Ghost eventually finding that pick.
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing 3 players from Ball State just in the back here. But, I mean, from there, you're able to just cross pretty easily, and then you're in the front. Wordy's lurking in the back, trying to find one.
Yeah, looking for that Tracer one.
Let's see it. Looks like T-Champ's going to back out, sticking with the team.
Sticking with the team as Binghamton is getting this bot pushing back now.
They're going to see that Gerdivic Flux come out, and gets canceled by the Droid Doomfist.
Yeah. Punch mid-air is really well worked from Droid. Following it up with a pick with 40. Looks like Ball State might be able to get this point back here. As Binghamton is forced back. That's a pick still going both ways though.
Rock mid-air onto Bordy.
Yeah, and Binghamton actually pulls out with that fight and is now in the lead with the robots still pushing.
Yeah, I mean, they're able to retake that. I think what this really came down to the past few points was the Tracer game. Just who's able to cause more of a disruption, disconnect more healing from the tanks. But
Droid in the back
purple
with the nano and the purple, yeah.
I think that was a 5-man purple. That was an amazing anti-nade from Spencer.
Yeah, very well placed from Spencer. Threw that one perfectly and able to help Ball State secure a few kills there.
I mean, I think that was kind of a not necessarily game saving, but fight winning ability use there. Going into this next one, we're gonna have Mr. Man up with the beat, possible pulse bomb as well, but going into the orbital ray and Bob, I'm gonna lean this in favor of Ball State.
Yeah, Bob comes out early from Ghost.
Especially when you're able to get man before he gets that beat online at the 95%.
Yeah, dying to Bob, that is unfortunate.
Seeing Droid on the 15-player kill streak here. Doing pretty good with these escapes. Going in this next fight, still holding that orbital ray as well as the orbital strike. Being able to use that as an escape and heal is going to allow him to play a lot more aggressive, possibly try and disrupt that beat before it comes out.
You're gonna have the orbital ray come out from Yakester. Fight on point here. Beat drop from Mr. Man. Gonna be keeping everyone on Binghamton up and alive, as Ball State is now forced to back off. Droid falling critically low. Not falling just yet, though. Rabbinic Flux from Reels.
Barely finds.
Does find Yakester.
Gonna get out with that orbital strike.
Yeah, just gonna ult out. Save the life. Binghamton now pushing this robot right back.
They're gonna get the forward spawn, and we'll see if they're able to get any more distance. That's unfortunate. BSU is able to push it pretty far, but just not close enough to get the advantage. So in this next fight as well, we're gonna have Window as well as Replicate, and Nano's out on the droid.
Yeah, we see the DPS here just trying to find any pick. Fight on point. Lot are low on the side of Ball State. Gonna have to be kept up by the supports. 40 with that Echo ult. Still sitting on it. Running not just yet. Champ finding Spencer. Support down now for Ball State. Gonna swap into the Sigma. Bob comes down from Binghamton.
Good pick onto T-Champ, but we're gonna see BSU back up a little here because they are very low. Gonna regain
They're
and
gonna have
see
to
if
get
they can
healed
take
up.
this. A lot of damage and they find droid. Oh,
Binghamton now over 100 meters. Minute 40 left on the clock. Looking
Great
really good
shots.
here for Binghamton.
great shots coming out from Ghost. Gonna see Bordy on the Echo, trying to take a little side route, it looks like. Good pulse bomb from T-Champ. Orbital Ray coming out.
Yeah, Yakester orbital ray. 1 for 1. 40 finding another.
I mean, looking at how these teams are playing, we're seeing both teams are playing fairly aggressive, especially I'm surprised how well they're able to maintain space with that Sigma. I think we're seeing some great shots from Lotus as well as just good support and backline from T-Champ, but I do think it just comes down to the similar push play style where you have one team diving the other backline and whichever one's doing better, but it doesn't necessarily feel like both at the same time. It almost feels like just shifting back and forth, and you can see that in the gameplay. You'll see Droid and Bordy in the back, and then you'll see it swap and it'll be T-Champ and Reels putting pressure.
Yeah, we have some picks going down now. Spencer does find T-Champ. Ball State is pushing this robot back. Gonna not get that forward spawn. Binghamton gonna fight him right before it. We see Droid in the back using that meteor strike to get out.
Ooh.
Not quite, trying to put some damage down. Amplification matrix comes out from Hank. In the back, Reels finds 2 for Binghamton. It's Kune Rush from Ball State.
Oh, and that's
actually,
be,
yeah.
I'll call that a C9. I mean, they had a couple up. They had to beat off. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, a little quick ending there from Binghamton, but that was pretty good showmanship. I mean, as push goes, it was very back and forth. It's actually going to be what we saw at the very end here from Reels, being able to kill a few, and I mean, from here it looks like Reels was just, or Droid was a little too focused on taking care of it. They just forgot about the point, and from there, that's going to be the Binghamton win.
Yeah, Binghamton up now 2-0 in this set. Looking
definitely
pretty good.
Or no, it's 2-1 actually.
Or yeah, 2-1. I'm sorry, 2-1 in this
so
set.
We're getting a pretty good game here. Before we go into our fourth map, which I believe is Escort. No, yeah,
That'll be Flashpoint.
Flashpoint. Before we go into Flashpoint, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll catch you guys at the next map.
All right, we are back, and we are looking to get into our fourth map here, which, as mentioned, is going to be a flashpoint map, which I believe can either be New Junk City or Suravasa.
I mean, Flashpoint again is the type of mode that it's kind of interesting. It's a little similar to Push, where you kind of need to be pretty good at saving ults, but also committing them. I mean, Flashpoint, the point ticks extremely fast compared to Control, and it's the best of three. You got to be able to get up and win the fight several times in a row. Looks like we're going to New Junk City as well, which is a first for this season. I don't think we've been here.
Um, Maybe I can't remember, but I
Well, I
know
believe we've
that we
only.
do see like a Junker Queen with like that Lucio, maybe a Juno. Get that speed, get into the enemy's backline pretty quickly. Could always work.
Yeah, a lot more
Take a
brawl
brawly
oriented
comp.
teams. Yeah, like an Orisa,
Yep.
a Junker Queen, and like you said, the Lucio for the speed. I mean, I like to call this mode a walking simulator. I mean, you got they even had to add the speed boost out of spawn just because of how far some of these spawns are from the points. So you're definitely going to want
True.
some kind of mobility between the Juno or the Lucio, or even both. But I don't know, especially this map. I'm not really sure. Like an Ana could be good, especially for the tank, but I just don't know if it's good against these kind of sight lines that this map has. I mean, you're looking at the middle point. There's a lot of angles that you have to play around for your Ana, so it's pretty hard. I'm expecting, like you said, a more brawl, close-oriented map. I think we will probably see very similar comps that we've already seen. I think a Tracer, Lucio, Baptiste, maybe an Orisa, maybe a Doomfist, maybe possibly a Sigma as well. We've seen quite a few different tanks now, but I mean the Mauga
Mm.
pick worked a little bit, not as much in the not as much for Ball State when it came to the rest of the point, but in that first map on Lijiang, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think for this map we might see the Doomfist again. It wouldn't surprise me if we see a little Doomfist come out again. Always I think a pretty viable pick, especially on this map.
The
We
only
saw
issue I see with
Droid
the
on it.
Doomfist is that, especially this compared to Push, where there aren't as many, like, there isn't as much of a benefit to getting backline. The teams are going to play a lot more oriented. There's a lot more team coordination compared to Push. I mean, we saw it in the Lijiang map, especially with the Maze. May could be a good one here. Just being able to, the other team is going to play together, so you're going to want to do your best to split them apart. So I'm we'll see what we see. Yeah, we're gonna see that May, an Alari pick for Mr. Man. I believe
Yeah, it
that's
seems
a
to be
new
the
one.
Sigma Mirror. Might be the Sigma Mirror. Maybe the Bastion pick from Champ.
That would be
That could
interesting.
be something. I don't think we've seen a Bastion yet this season.
Definitely not. I don't think we have. That's a new pick, but yeah, we're gonna see the swap to the May. I think it is just all fooling with us casters.
I think so. But we do have Bordy with the Sim. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I
there's gonna
think
be
it
a
was just
swap.
a TP out of spawn, but alright, yeah. Now both teams making their way to this point. We do see the Lucio from Binghamton and the Juno from Ball State. There's the speedy comps that you might have mentioned before.
I mean,
Those
the Brick
Sigmas
Juno
now.
we've seen before. It's a pretty common, probably definitely in the meta right now for Overwatch. Combined with the Ash just being able to get that mid to long range damage really
Ooh,
consistent. Great headshot from T-Champ on Dispenser. That's gonna be a quick fall for BSU's
those
supports, and that's just,
and the
yeah, that's
tank.
gonna be the fight.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw Binghamton there kind of chasing Ball State around the like outskirt of the point. And then with the Maywall from T-Champ, they were able to just finally secure some of those picks. Looked pretty good for Binghamton. Ball
You're gonna
State
see
now
them-
coming back.
No swaps. They're gonna stick with what they got, and I think it'll be a lot harder to push now where they already have that May in the map control. It's going to be a lot harder to retake it, but we're going to see Bodhi on the back line here, causing some disruption, which is very good, and we're going to see Droid get really caught out because of that May wall.
Yeah, we have a pulse bomb now from Bordy, finding a 3-man. Great picks from Bordy.
Yeah, 3.
Finishing off
There's
the
the
May
4.
now. As Ball State is going to cap the point. Stop Binghamton at 82% though.
Yeah, going into this next one, we're going to have the Blizzard, which is definitely game-changing, fight-changing ult, as well as the Gratific Flux. Going to be a little late with that beat, probably not in time to match the Orbital Ray or even the Gratific Flux from Droid, which is what you want to save it for Mr. Man. Good wall onto him.
Yeah.
Use the Blizzard. Droid's gonna ult simply to get out of it, but he still gets caught.
Still unable to get fully out.
I believe he was stunned somehow. I'm not sure. Maybe he activated it and just immediately canceled or used it to get over the wall, but
I think that's what it was, a quick activation, quick cancel. Bob now, you can't Ghost. You can't see Ghost getting 2 picks. And Binghamton driven off the point. Ball State now capping.
They're able to take that in the end. I mean, they were able to use that Bob to just hold the point and then staying alive with the rally. Great plays from BSU there.
Yeah, Ball State gonna cap that first point.
Yeah, but now
we're
going
heading over
next
to the
one,
second flashpoint.
We're gonna see the ults kind of in favor of Binghamton here, especially with that Gratific Flux beat still. Gonna be really helpful. Bob building any second now, and all they're gonna really have to answer is the Orbital Ray.
Yeah, we'll see with a nice wall from Champ and a beat from Mr. Man.
Oh,
Picks come from both teams.
It's very back and forth here. It's gonna be a 2v2 between the DPS, and it's gonna come down to a 1v1 between the DPS with Bordy and T-Champ. Gonna see Bordy on the point. Possible pulse bomb. It's coming down to the 1v1. Yep. Oh, but we're gonna see Mr. Man come back in time with the lamp, and Bordy's just gonna be out. That Lucio speed is gonna allow Binghamton to get back, as well as the cat being stalled. We're gonna see if the points, people are able to still hold these points. We're gonna see still holding in favor of BSU here. That's a lot of pressure on the droid. He's gonna have to back up. Blizzard's gonna come out soon, but they're gonna have the rally.
Yes, certainly. Binghamton finally capping that point now, finally getting some progression after what an incredible hold. Couple picks now.
I mean, that rally
State will swing
just
the point.
Gonna force, yeah, those picks as well as the rally, you're not gonna be able to push into that. They're gonna have 3 on the flank, or sorry, not the flank. They're gonna have 3 up and a couple more coming back and attack with Mr. Man. Looks like we're gonna have Lamp as well as the Blizzard, and possibly just a Gratific Flux, maybe a Bob for this next fight.
Yeah, the Flux comes out from Droid, unable to find anything really. 40 does fall to T-Champ. Ball State now above 50% on this point. Droid pushed into a corner.
I think with the tank falling, they're going to be able to just hold on to that window as well. They're not going to have to commit that. It's going to be just the support some point, it looks like. Yakister doing everything he can to stay alive.
Yeah, point contested now.
I mean,
a lot more of Binghamton on.
Despite Binghamton's win, we're going to see BSU being able to hold that point all the way to 90%, which is very impressive.
Yeah, a couple ults for Binghamton too now. 4 ults.
I mean, they were able to hold the window, but now they're gonna have it up for the Bob as well as the orbital ray that's gonna come down. We're gonna see the swap to the Orisa from Droid off of the Sigma.
Yeah, with Champ finding a pick. looking like Ball State's just gonna have to pull back for a bit now.
I mean, that was a real early pick on the Ghost. They are gonna have to just reset. They know, especially with that Bob online, they're gonna have to wait for it. 40's getting caught out a little bit on point.
Ults now coming down. Ball State almost has it capped. Orbital Ray from Spencer. A lot of ults now coming down. Beat drop, Gravitic Flux, and the Amplification Matrix for Binghamton will help secure them this point, it seems.
I mean, that was a
That'll be a
good old
1-to-1.
classic Overwatch ult dump right there. I mean, you're not, especially from Ball State, an Orbital Ray is not going to do much against a Blizzard, an Orbital Ray, and 2 support ults. It's just real rough. But, I mean, going into this next fight, it's probably going to be the ult advantage of Ball State. We're going to see Lotus does have Bob, but, I mean, with the Pulse Bomb, probably an early kill going to come out from the BSU. We'll find out.
Yeah, Lotus commits that Bob pretty early. Finds the pick on the Yakester with it, though. Lotus finding a second one on the Ghost. And Binghamton starts the 3rd point.
Yeah, Binghamton's able to cap that with, I believe it was just the Bob, which was definitely good, but we're going to see BSU going to be able to snap back with these ults pretty well. With the Mei, though, pushing into this point especially, I think is going to be pretty hard. Not when you have the Mei turned around, though, focusing on Bordy. That does definitely change the way you're going to play that.
Yeah, with the rally, too, from Ball State, they're able to just walk on the point now. Binghamton forced off. Tanks falling critically low for Binghamton. Gonna have to be healed up before entering back in. Terra Surge from Droid. 40 finds 2 in the back off of it. And Ball State now is going to drive Binghamton back to spawn.
And they get a tank stagger here going. I believe this is possible revenge for what they did to T-Champ. Maybe that was it the other team? I'm not sure. Oh, but the perfect wall. You're gonna get a little too aggressive there, Droid, and pay the price for it. I mean, you know Binghamton has that Mei. That was an incredible wall from T-Champ.
Yeah, fight on point now. Spencer commits the Orbital Ray. Yakester finding a pick off of it. And Ball State retains the point. And Binghamton is unable to contest.
We're gonna see a Doom swap. Just being able to barely contain Mr. Man before he gets the contest on the point. And they're gonna stagger this Baptiste.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna feed him a little ult though. He's gonna do his best to kill himself, but he's gonna get knocked back and body blocked.
Gonna have a party awaiting
There he goes.
right at that edge for him.
That's gonna be a tough stagger as well. You see
Yeah, it did
Binghamton
get up to
already up.
75% though.
It is true. I mean, Binghamton's not going to be able to cap and get percentage really off of that stagger, but they are going to at least get the initial cap to begin with, so there's the big difference. But going into this, we're going to see a lot more ults in favor of Binghamton with the Bob, the Blizzard, and the beat and everything. Bob trade.
Yeah, both Bobs on the field now. Fight up top. Droid just punching everyone. Yakester finding one, popping the rally now. Blizzard did come down from Champ. Reels and Champ finding 2 of their own. Getting walled off now. Binghamton
Point still has not been
on the
capped.
point. Meteor Strike from Droid, unable to find anything, but Yakester and Ghost do.
And again, yeah, it's swinging back in favor of BSU. That was pretty good from then. Droid on the Doom being able to put up an incredible contest, especially with Ghost just picking off Binghamton supports and DPS in the back with Spencer just keeping Droid up. That was very good from BSU. About 2 minutes in here, and we just get the cap onto this 4th point. leave a lot more room for ults to come out for this. We're going to still see that beat as well as the orbital strike, but we're seeing Bordy really sitting on this pulse bomb for a while now. We're going to see if we can get something with that.
Yeah, Binghamton now pushing on the point. Almost swung it their way. Droid just trying to contest. Unable to as Binghamton now starts capping. Ghost almost finding the kill on the Lotus. Lotus does take down Droid. Allstate now without a tank. Gonna have to back up and let Binghamton just cap the point for a bit now.
Yeah, we're seeing Binghamton getting really aggressive here, putting as much pressure on as they can while Droid's down. We're seeing Droid switch to the Ramatra as well. We saw this counter swap earlier, I believe, into the Sigma, and I think it did work in their favor. Yeah, I'm not entirely too sure. And being able to hit through that shield
might be able to help them here. Oh, beat for the... Alright, a lot of ults coming out now. Contested on the point. Bordy finding Champ. Just going to be outside. Ghost does have that Bob. Doesn't want to use it.
You saw a lot of ult commitment from Binghamton and not much payoff there. I think really the only thing they answered with was the Orbital Ray and the Pulse Bomb, which are both ults you get back extremely quick. Going to this next one with Bob as well as the Rally is going to be really good for BSU.
Yeah, Droid looking to try to get that Annihilation. 40 with a pick on the Lotus. Both down 2 DPS. The Ashe fall first.
Point flips in favor of Binghamton.
Yeah, as they're getting closer to their 99% now. Annihilation from Droid comes out. Finds Reels. Now staking their claim onto point. Still contested by Binghamton. No tank on the side of Binghamton, though. It's going to be a lot harder to take this and cap it.
Are we going to see a contest? No.
No, unfortunately not. Ball State takes this one.
Yeah, that's going to be Ball State evening the score, making it 2-2. Very, very exciting. We haven't seen this yet. So we've got a minimum of 3 more maps to go here. See a lot going on that game. I mean, it was very back and forth from both teams. Incredible backline work from both teams. We see Bordy here. I mean, with this 4K, just jumping in the backline, getting huge damage off of the dynamite from the Ashe, being able to execute on the Tracer. Just very good from Ball State as well as Binghamton being able to hold that. I think it comes down to before the final fight who's taking the hits and who's dying, and then from there you're just kind of staggered and it's really hard to come back. I do think that last minute Ramatra switch was also really, really good into the Sigma.
Yeah, it certainly was, and you saw right at the end there, Droid having that Annihilation, being able to secure the kill onto Reels, sends Ball State a little bit massively in favor. Being down a tank is huge, and able to help them cap that last point there.
Yeah, for sure. Going to this next map, we are going to see Escort, which I think a 5th map is going to be in ECAC first for this semester here, this season. I believe every game has been a maximum 3-1. So, I mean, we're going to Dorado, we're going to Escort here, and we're still going to see a minimum of, I believe, 3 more maps. It's going to be pretty exciting to see which team comes out on top. These teams, I mean, we see it on the attack and the defense. They are very back and forth. These are 2 very good teams. They definitely know what they're doing, and this is some high level gameplay we're watching.
Yeah, I don't think Dorado was in the map pool. Yeah, I believe that got banned out for a couple of bugs. So instead, we might be going to Route 66 here.
I believe second point on the high ground, you can't get hit by Ryan Shatter or Venture ult, right? I believe that's it. As well as I'm not sure if they patched it, but you can also contest the point on second point high ground. But that will be a change to Route 66. Possibly, I believe. It's Route 66 or Circuit Royale. I would be definitely more in favor of Circuit Royale, but we'll see what these teams are going to go with. They're
Yeah, we'll
taking a
see.
quick short break as well, but we're not. We already did ours. So what are you expecting to see here for Escort? We haven't seen Escort before, so we're really not sure what we're expecting, but I imagine it's definitely not too different from Hybrid, just maybe without that initial dive comp.
Yeah, depending on the map, certainly. Route 66, I feel like I don't know if we'll see the Winston right out. We might see more of that Sigma play. The Sigma has been really popular here in this map so far. Match, I should say. Both teams showing some pretty high level skill on the Sigma. Wouldn't surprise me if that comes out. If it's Circuit Royale, yeah, I could see the Winston on that one more, I think. The Winston, the Sigma, hell, maybe even the Malga comes out on Circuit Royale. Something crazy. But
Not
it wouldn't
to
surprise me too much.
not to spread hate, I'm not exactly asking for a Malga pick here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do see it. We have already seen it once or twice, mostly just for a contest. We did see it on the first map a lot, but for Route 66, which I'm still not entirely sure if that's where we're going. It's either that or Circuit Royale. I think we'll see definitely some snipers. I think that Ash pick is kind of a necessity. This is a very mid to long range map, especially on that first point if you can't get around that choke. But I don't think these teams will have too much of a hard time doing that. For the tank picks, I think we're going to see that Sigma from Binghamton again. They really like that Sigma pick on Reels. But I don't know, from BSU, they have some pretty good answers to it. Between the Doom and the Ramatra, they know they can take care of that Sigma pretty well. So it'll be interesting to see if they do and if Binghamton has any answers to that. What do you think for the supports?
Supports, I feel like it's going to be pretty textbook what we've seen before. We've seen, I believe it's Binghamton with Mr. Man and Hank favoring that Baptiste Lucio and Yakester and Spencer, usually going for that Ana Juno, Brig Juno, something around that. And that's probably going to be the same for either map, I feel. It looks like to be what these guys are kind of most comfortable on. And as it's shown, either way can win with either supports, as we are 2-2 right now.
Yeah, one thing to mention too, just to bring up from the last few games here, the staggering is really good, and I think that's something that's pretty easy to achieve on this map as well. There's only about one or two cliffs you can actually jump off. So I think I'm hoping to see some more staggers.
Yeah, always devastating when you can get a pretty good stagger on the enemies. Usually when they're like just about to come back up and they get killed just as your team is making it up, and it's always very unfortunate. But we have seen it this entire time so far,
Yeah, for sure.
and I wouldn't
And
expect to see anything less.
a quick note to point out is the teams have swapped, so we're going to see Binghamton on blue and Ball State on red. It should reflect as well on the on-screen graphic, but looking at the comps here, we're going to see a almost full sniper comp with a Winston from BSU on attack. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple swaps, though. I'm not sure how reliable Hanzo is here, but I mean, as predicted, Binghamton is going to be on that Baptiste, the Ash, and the Sigma. Tracer is going to be pretty good at putting more pressure on the backline, especially where BSU is going to have this Ana. We're going to hopefully see T-Champ do a decent job of... I'm hoping to see just a quick 3 blink in, burst, and a recall out, but we'll see what we see. We're going to see the swap to the Widow and the Tracer, but the stick on the Winston. Gonna be, again, a pretty decent pick, though, I feel. I mean, we saw Droid on the Winston on King's Row and doing a good job of being able to put a lot of pressure and take the space. We're already seeing them get through this first choke as well.
Yeah, with Binghamton holding on this high ground here, you'd think it would pose a little more threat to Ball State, but they've been just moving this point pretty efficiently so far. Working its way underneath the high ground now. Bordy finding a kill onto Hank.
Yeah, that's going to be a very crucial pick.
Securing one of the supports. This payload is still moving for Ball State. Binghamton is getting pushed back a little bit on their high ground. Falling critically low. Mr. Man, Lotus, and Reels all fall.
We're seeing a quick snapback from BSU here.
Yeah, Ball State might just cap this first point now.
That was pretty good. I mean, Hank's back up, but with that early pick from Bordy, that was really good. I think that was really just laying the stones for BSU. That's a crucial support pick, especially where you have Brig on the side. Not going to be able to pump out as much long-range healing and utility as the BAP is, especially with that window. I think it's just that BAP is going to be really hard, especially into this Widowmaker and the Winston. So we're gonna see if Binghamton is either gonna be able to retake their space or make some swaps.
Yeah, we have that payload now still moving for Ball State. Binghamton unable to really start contesting this. We see T-Champ getting found out by Bordy. Little tracer fight in the corner that Bordy's walking away with.
Yeah, we're seeing some great
Bordy
picks
on a masterclass tracer pick here from Bordy.
That's gonna be looks like a cleanup again. Reels is gonna find the Widow though on their way out.
Yeah, we have Ball State pretty dominant right now. Kind of just walking through this.
That's true. I mean, they did only have to commit the Nano as well, so we haven't seen too many ults come out yet. We're gonna see if Binghamton is gonna be able to contest this. It's gonna be hard now with that sights on them. They know if they walk out there, they're just gonna get shut off. So they're gonna use the rally to get out.
Yeah, we do have some ults on the side of Ball State that they did use those sights, that pulse bomb, and it just looks like they're still holding them off pretty well here. Primal Rage from Droid. Couple members of Binghamton fighting on the point, still remaining.
Binghamton's holding it,
can
but
win this out here.
it's definitely not over.
Shields everywhere. Droid just dapping Reels.
Yeah, with no support, Reels is gonna fall quick, especially where the Winston's able to hit straight through that shielding and everything. And we're looking at 0.3 meters for the cart.
Amplification Matrix, though, comes out. Lotus finding one through the window. Two fall, though. Ball State DPS finding the support. And some more as they finish that point now.
Yeah, going into the
4 minutes left on their clock.
For BSU, we're seeing a large time bank, and I think this third point is probably going to be easier than the last, assuming Binghamton doesn't make any switches. This is going to be much more close quarters, much more beneficial for the Winston and the Tracer. But we're going to see the swap to the Soldier. I believe it was a Widowmaker, so you're going to be able to put a lot more pressure onto Binghamton with that.
Yeah, we have Lotus popping that overclock now on that high ground. Ball State still finding 3 members on the backside, though. Lotus does find that Tracer.
Droid is just in the spawn, picking on these DPS, still full health.
Yeah, doing a really good job on that Winston, just applying constant pressure to the enemies. Gonna have another primal very soon here with that nano boost. Droid finds 2. Just sitting at the spawn door waiting for more. Sleep Dart shyly misses. Bordy finding 2. The Ball State seems to just be on a snowball roll here. Playing bouncer.
We see the switch to the Malga, but in the last second, I think if we saw that Malga switch much earlier, it would have been a big difference. I think that Droid on the Winston compared with the combined with the Tracer is just too much pressure for Binghamton to handle, especially where they were running like the Sojourn and stuff, where you need to build that charge into a shot. You're just not going to have as much pressure on the people diving you as you need compared to something like a Cassidy or an Ash. So I think as well as like the Sigma, you're getting shredded through your kinetic grasp and your shield that you just need to make that swap. I think Malga would have been a better pick sooner, even though uh, it is a fairly long range oriented map where BSU are putting themselves in a spot to play close range. I think the Malga would have been a great pick sooner. And I just wish that was something Binghamton kind of caught on to sooner. I mean, you get rolled the first 2 points, and you're sticking with the same comp.
Yeah, well, we saw Ball State on Kings Row, how well their defense was, and really strong attack too with this kind of escort-ish mode. And I expect to see really nothing less from them here. Another good solid hold. Bordy was looking on fire with the Tracer picks just this last round. Gonna see what they can and can't do this one too.
Yeah, for sure. And something not to undermine, though, a little bit of a difference. We're seeing Ash picks a bit earlier on compared to last time, so probably a little more action. The Genji as well on the attack is going to allow for a lot more dive, but into the Winston, it's probably not going to be too strong. I mean, you're not going to be reflecting much here. I guess the Ash shots, but we're going to see what Champ is able to get done on the Genji compared to the Tracer.
Certainly going to be a little hard. We do see that Genji in the back line with the Kiriko, trying to just take down the Ana. Getting peeled, though, by the rest of Ball State. Bordy finds a pick on the Champ. Now Binghamton is forced back up just a little bit.
Seeing Binghamton's doing Ball State's doing a decent job holding this corner now, though, compared to what Binghamton was doing on the defense. I think the Winston, again, is just... It's debatable for defense, but I think for what they're playing into, it's the perfect pick. I mean, you're able to play aggressive when you need to, especially where it's an Ana in the backline, Ana Ash. It's the perfect dive character, but also you're shredding through the Sigma healing, and I mean that's just perfect. There's not a lot of tanks that can do that, as well as putting pressure on the backline on the defense and being able to get out super easily.
Yeah, we see the Nano Boost come out onto Droid as Binghamton is starting to walk into the back line. Reels finds two. So although Droid was Nano Boosted and could contest the cart, they just went the other way and killed the members of Ball State in the back.
Yeah, that was great from Binghamton. I mean, we see the Winston's really good when you can dive back to your supports. Not so much when you have no supports to dive back to. I think Reels did a good job of with that Gratific Flux, especially in that close range angle, putting the pressure on them. And, I mean, Gratific Flux in a closed area is almost a guaranteed kill. I do think the Winston might struggle a little bit, too, on this much more open-ranged second point. You're going to have a lot less angles to play around.
Yeah, we see Ghost on this very high ground, though. Finding a good pick onto the support. Gonna stop Ball State's push Binghamton's push just for right now.
I've seen a lot of ults from Binghamton, though, saved up here. Hopefully they're able to execute with something. I mean, we saw Ghost use the Bob. That more so just forced BSU back for a little bit. Wow.
Orbital Ray from Mr. Man. And a Pulse Bomb from Champ onto Spencer. Gonna be fighting for their lives in the back. Reels does find Droid. All State in trouble here as Binghamton looking to get some pretty solid footing and keep this payload pushing.
I mean, we saw T-Champ, I believe that was 2 or 3 picks. Very good, but I think that's also a classic case of an Overwatch ult dump. There's not too much you can do, and I mean now Binghamton, they have the control, but what are they gonna have to answer to this? I mean they're gonna have BSU is gonna have this rally, the primal and stuff, but it's not gonna do too much.
Yeah,
Mr.
Droid
Man dead.
finding a nice pick onto Mr. Man. 40 finding a pick on the champ. Ana's getting walked down in the back. Picks for both teams. Primal Rage comes out from Droid. And it looks like Ball State is going to retain the point just for right now.
That was pretty good. They did have to use a lot of resources to get that done. The pulse bomb and the primal rage putting a lot of pressure. I do think that the Winston will shine a lot more in the very last bit of this compared to the front side of the second point where you can dive up onto this high ground where the ash is and such. We're gonna see though if BSU is gonna be able to keep this hold.
Yeah, Nana Boost onto Droid again. Able to find Mr. Man in the back. He's pushing up now. Trying to hold off Binghamton as much as they can.
Yeah, holding the high ground and just doing the Winston thing of diving in, taking their utility, building ult charge, and diving out. That's just what the Winston's going to be able to do best here, especially where, I mean, there aren't too many members of the team from Binghamton that's going to be able to take this high ground too well. Bob might just go off the map here. Yeah, there he goes.
Yep, there he goes. Runs straight off. Straight into the void. Ghost, though, doesn't need Bob.
Yeah, it doesn't
Finds
need him.
two of their own. Looking for a third here. There it is. A lot of picks. Goes Ghost's way.
That was
Even without
definitely
Bob.
really good from Ghost. I mean, you throw the ult down, you say, Bob, get in there and get out of here, because I got a gun and I know how to use it. I believe that was a 4K from Ghost, followed up by single
Yeah,
from
sent
Bordy.
Bob as a red herring just to turn some heads and was able to just click them then.
For sure. I do think it was assisted definitely by Droid. A lot of pressure putting on the monkey takes it off of the Ash.
Yeah, Ball State now with 3 picks of their own. Just wasting away at that time bank of Binghamton as they only have 15 seconds left. Not sure if they're even going to be able to contest this here. Droid does have that primal to play bouncer.
I mean, this is a really hard hold for Binghamton to push into. BSU has a really good setup. They can use the Bob, lob it at the point possibly for the contest, but that's already a triple.
Yeah, I believe Champ gets that contest off,
But
Reels gets coach gunned and is unable to contest as Ball State takes the escort too.
yeah, I mean, we saw Binghamton really struggling to maintain that forward pressure, especially where BSU got set up. They, I mean, we saw Binghamton really was able to take it when they did an ult them. We're gonna see the, I believe this was the 4K from Ghost, possible 3K. Very, very good. But, I mean, yeah, from Binghamton, they did great, but I think that BSU, we saw it on the Kings Row. They're just really good at that payload defense, especially where, I mean, we're really only seeing reels on the Sigma. We're not seeing too much swaps, and I think that's the major difference is Droid is very flexible with the tank, being able to swap to the Winston or the Ramatra or even the Doomfist to just really counter that Sigma. And I think we've seen reels pull out the Mauga once or twice, but it just hasn't worked out too well for them. So hopefully next up they're able to do a little bit better.
Yeah, Ball State now taking the lead in the series 3-2. First to 5, so plenty of game left for either team to pull out here with the win. I believe next map is going to be Clash.
I apologize, but it's best of 7. So is it first of 5 or 4? I know I said best of 5 earlier, or first of 5.
I believe it's best of first to 5 will be the winner.
Wouldn't the advantage be like if you're at 4, the other team can't get there, right?
I'm not sure. We could check the rule book, or
I mean, the rule book
we could
does
check
just
that
say
then.
best of 7. Well, my thought is best of 5, right? It's first to 3, because the other team it's 3 to 2 at most, and then best of 7, it would be 4 to 3. I think we're both having a little bit of a brain issue here.
Yeah, I'm just not too sure.
I guess we will. I guess we will find out. But I'm gonna say it's match point in favor of BSU here. So it looks
Yeah,
like
and
a
we will be going to Clash for our next one.
yeah. So it is first to 4, just to confirm. So it is going to be a match point right now in favor of Ball State. And yeah, we're gonna be going to what is this? What's this mode called again? Clash. That's
Clash.
right, Clash. There you go. It's like 5 CP. So again, haven't seen this yet in the ECAC for this season. I'm hoping to see Binghamton take this just so we can see more of this game. And I believe if they take this, I believe we go to I forget the mode. It would be
My
control again. No. It'd be I'm not sure. It
yeah, I
says
think it goes.
Clash and then tiebreak and then back to control for the tiebreaker. I'm not too sure, but I don't know. We'll play it by game. We'll see what
Yep,
Binghamton can do here.
that's what I'm thinking.
Um, looking at the individual players in these teams, I think that we're seeing a lot of good plays from Droid and I believe Birdie. Is that it? Bordy. Droid and Bordy with the combo of the Winston and Tracer is just doing really good at putting pressure on the backline of Binghamton.
Yeah, it's
And
wouldn't surprise me if we see that again here from them.
from Binghamton's side, I do think that T Champ is doing pretty good on the damage as well, getting some really nice picks, crucial picks that really swing the fight, whether it be on a support or just like I think we saw them on the May wall earlier. Just really good plays from T Champ, as well as the combo from BSU. Looking at the comps, we're going to see T Champ on the Bastion, Real's still on that Sigma. We're going to see the Baptiste and Lucio again matched up with the Cassidy. Looking at BSU, however, we're going to see that Doomfist pick with an Ana again.
Yeah, the Doomfist into the Sigma. I like seeing Droid on this Doomfist, showing that he's definitely really good on the pick. See what they can get done here. Get Dynamite from Ghost coming out early. Gonna be Droid now, taking some of that aggression on the point. Stays out a little bit. Maywall from Champ does come out. Deflects the, I believe it was the Hinder grenade. Back to Cassidy.
Genji is getting some value.
Yeah, massive fight on point now. Binghamton did start the cap, and with Lotus finding a pick on the boardy, might be going in Binghamton's way. With Droid filing, certainly.
Really good Maywall from T-Champ there. I mean, just barely locking Troid out of the escape. And that's going to give them the advantage they need to take this next point way easier, especially where you're not going to allow BSU to go right back in the fight. And they're going to get a really good wall on supports as well. I mean, I mentioned it at the start, T-Champ with these walls are just undefeated here.
Yeah, really good at getting one or two members of the enemy team sectioned off, and then it's just a pretty easy kill from there.
See them still holding this.
Yeah.
Couple ults coming out.
Ball State finding a good amount of picks, able to drive Binghamton off the point, even after the amplification matrix from Hank came down.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely really good from BSU. They're really keeping up this aggressive attitude that they've had these past couple maps. This Genji is definitely helpful, being able to retake this point and push back to mid. I think the Doom is, I mean, when you're fighting as a whole team here, it's a lot different, but I think fighting into this single lane here in the middle compared to the outer side, I think that's kind of why we saw it in favor of Binghamton at the start with the Mei, I think is the big part of it. I mean, we saw the whole reason it went poorly is because of this wall.
Yeah, we saw the Bob from Ghost come out now on the point. Ball State looking to push back. Droid having to use that Meteor Strike. Deadeye comes out from Lotus, clears the point. Ball State gives space. Picks now, both ways. A beat drop comes out from Mr. Man. Trying to keep everyone alive on Binghamton.
Seeing a
pretty good now.
Pretty equal trades here. However, the supports are down for BSU, which is gonna be sort of hard for the Doomfist, but they're coming back with the rally.
Yeah, with the Blizzard too, it's gonna be a lot harder to get on the point. Unfortunately, that rally is almost wasted.
Yeah, I mean, with that window, they're gonna do their best to hold, but that's gonna be a rock on the ulting Genji.
Yeah, and Binghamton is just right there, ready to swing this point their way. As now they do. Lotus finds 2 kills on the back end. 3 kills, actually. Make it 4.
Wow, Lotus, incredible plays on the Cassidy here. They're gonna take this middle point again after a long contest from BSU, and we're gonna see if they're gonna be able to keep up this forward pressure. They swap to the Pharah for Bordy. Definitely gonna be pretty good, but we're gonna have this Deadeye coming through soon. Could be a great counter just to swing the fight in favor of Binghamton.
Yeah,
Quick
that's
pick
certainly
on
a
the
swap
support.
when the Cassidy gets 4 kills into the Pharah. We'll see what Bordy has in a plan for this. Lotus finds 1. Ball State, though, turning with a lot of picks for themselves. Now able to contest the point. T-Champ falls, just leaves Lotus.
Yeah, now
Ball
we
State
did
now
we,
will cap the point.
we saw that going pretty in favor of Binghamton up until the point where Droid just went off on the Doomfist, making a lot of quick picks, disconnecting, distracting the supports. Looks like they're not going to try for the contest. I think that's the right idea. I think just they know they've been winning this middle point. They say let's keep up 5, let's not get staggered, and let's maintain control of this, especially with this Mei. I think that's kind of the game breaker here. Is this is just what can you wall off and what kind of value can we get? But we're seeing Bordy on the side here building up this barrage, as well as the other supports on the other side. We're seeing a very spread out team for BSU here.
Yeah, Blizzard came down from Champ there. Unable to really catch anyone. Davidic Flux from Reels. Finds the Pharah. Bordy and Yakester fall to Reels. As Binghamton start capping this middle point again.
Now, it's still up for debate here. The point is still going, but yeah, it looks like it's going to be in favor of Binghamton. What I wanted to say was Ball State really almost made that really incredible because they put 1 or 2 on the side. Oh, sorry, still going.
They're not quite over yet, especially with that beat drop.
Yeah, it's going to be back to 0% in favor of BSU.
Yep.
What I was going to say is
Now Ball
BSU, a couple fights ago now, though, they spread out. They put a couple on the side, and that really faked out the Mei ult and forced the Mei, and it was really only on the Doomfist. So it was really just a waste. It's going to be an environmental on the Hank.
Yeah, Ball State with a few picks now. And half the point capped, looking to take this middle point now.
I mean, I wasn't expecting that. We saw the Maywall from T-Champ, and I thought that was it. I thought that Droid was kind of locked out and was going to go to the next point, but we do see Ball State able to retake that. They're going to have to commit a lot of ults for that, though, and we're kind of going to see the ult advantage here going in favor of BSU and in this next point, which is actually pretty good. I mean, Binghamton used their last few ults to hold it, and it just didn't work out for them.
Yeah, on this next point now, Binghamton starting this cap. Bob comes out from Ghost. Deadeye from Lotus.
Getting shredded by Bob, though. Oh!
Yeah. Droid puts a stop to it now. Picks from Ball State almost all around. A Blizzard, though, from Champ and the wall. Oh, unfortunately, Champ does fall, though.
I just don't know what that...
Taking it back.
I might eat my own words here, but I'm not sure what that Blizzard was for. I mean, you can see him waiting on the ult, contesting it, doing his best to hold it, but what for? I mean, the team's coming back with... I mean, yeah, I'm gonna eat my words here. We'll just let it play out. Yaxor falls off.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. Down a support now. Ball State. Lotus does find Bordy ulting. Couple kills now for Binghamton, looking to swing this point right back.
And Binghamton is gonna get this. But they, I mean, we've seen it from BSU. They're not known for giving up these points. We saw it the last time. We saw it on Kings Row. We see it now. Great shot from Lotus though through the Baptiste window. That's gonna be a lot harder of a contest with your tank on.
Yeah, 100%. You have both your supports in this
but
room.
you have a new tank on the field with that rally.
Yeah, Yakester rally and the beat drop from Mr. Man. Ball State not making it cheap for Binghamton to keep this point. In fact, looking actually to swing it back their way.
I mean, I think that was a perfect rally from Yakester, able to just hold that point for just a little longer in order to allow for the Doom to come back and just retake that control. But we might see another contest from Binghamton. The point is not over.
No,
not
this is a really long fought out point.
We're gonna have Droid too, so even when they get him low, he's gonna have that escape. And I mean, looking at Binghamton's health, they are not looking good.
Ooh, Reels does fall to Ghost. Ball State now finding, I think, the remaining picks and finally capping this point. Now only needing one kill to win.
Yeah, they're not even gonna need the full point. They're just gonna need 33% of it in order to win this. And this is match point for Binghamton. If we want to see this, Binghamton wants to go into the finals, they're gonna have to win these next 3 fights in a row.
Yeah, it's definitely not an easy task, but with Droid falling fairly early, it becomes a lot more manageable. Bordy does find Lotus though.
Team the point halfway capped now, and not much left to contest. We see Binghamton doing a great job of retaining
just gonna cap this one, and Ball State's gonna play for this last point.
I'm gonna put the ult advantage in favor of Binghamton on this next one too. I mean, you're looking at 4, almost 5 with that. We're gonna see what Droid can do. He just has to get aggressive, and that he does. Immediate pick onto the Ashe, followed up onto the Lucio.
Yeah, 2 great picks. Baptiste evading the Doomfist, just barely. Ball State now capping the point.
I mean, again, Binghamton is gonna have to get here in touch. We see Reels with the Gratific Flux, so we know there can be a contest. Gonna get the pick onto You Can't See Ghost.
On the Ghost, yeah.
Gratific Flux.
Finds the Juno. Gonna be on the point now. Ball State does have that orbital ray. Doesn't fall just yet. Baptiste immortality. Keeps Reels alive just for a little bit longer, as well as a beat drop from Mr. Man and a pick from T-Champ. Might be swinging this back Binghamton's way, just just for right now. But Ball State is looking to contest this.
Yeah, I mean, don't talk too soon. Ball State is touching. We've seen a lot of back and forth contests. Seeing Youngster coming out with the rally though, that's scary. I mean, looking at Binghamton, they're not gonna have much to answer. We're seeing T-Champ, their best support, falling. You can't see Ghost will fall.
Yeah, 3 picks though for Ball State. Lotus though finding a couple.
Lotus with the
3
3
picks of his own.
That's gonna be a
Still
game
in this
changer.
thing. Yeah, now it looks like it might just be reals. Droid accidentally canceled that punch.
Oh my.
Both tanks do fall. Binghamton
Oh.
just shy of capping this, and it's not
Still
just
going.
yet.
Still going.
Still in contention.
They're gonna get Bob on the point.
Yeah,
And
Ghost
it's gonna
Bob
swing
on the
back in
point.
favor of BSU. Lotus with the pick on the Youngster. It's just Ghost on there with the Bob, but Droid's gonna come back and they're gonna have to touch this once again and fight for this final space.
Yeah, Binghamton now making their presence on the point again, trying to build this percentage bar back up.
Yeah, we're gonna get this
Ball State
Certific
just
Flux.
took away.
Misses the pulse bomb. Oh no.
Lotus taken out though by Droid. A couple of picks for Binghamton though. Droid finding a couple of his own.
Yeah, that's 3 down from Binghamton. But with the Doom up
Still on
and the
the point,
Lucio,
though.
you're gonna be able to make that contest regardless. So I still don't think this point's over.
Yeah, Binghamton getting very close to capping. Not quite yet as Yakester and Droid contest. Spencer with a pick under Mr. Man.
And that's
though.
going to be the cap for Binghamton. It's going to go to a match point in this very middle point here. This is going to be, I think this is going to be a battle for the ages here. Binghamton came here to win. They are not giving this up. They are doing everything they can for this reverse sweep. They've won 2 in a row. Ult advantage. It's pretty balanced here. We're looking at a Pulse Bomb Gratific Flux coming out.
Yeah, with that point unlocked now, the Gratific Flux comes out. Unable to find anything right away.
no.
Lotus helps get a pick. Droid now gonna be fighting with the satellite vector from Spencer. Ball State's looking good, especially with a meteor strike from Droid as well.
Oh, and that's a
Pick now
triple.
for Ball State.
Quadruple.
Just Spencer,
And that's going to be a
T-Champ
pick on
alive.
T-Champ. I don't know if they're going to be able to touch here. The Mauga swap. They're going to have the
Malga
Dumo.
and Venture swap.
I just don't know. Will they be able to touch? They're going to have the Lucio. I think they will get the touch. I don't think this
Yeah,
is over.
Venture gonna secure the touch. Malga now running into the back line.
Oh no,
Gets
the
hacked
Sombra
with
swap.
EMP.
When did we see? When
Already
did that
knowing-
happen?
Probably just expecting the Malga swap to come out. Ball
That's gonna
State
be a-
one step ahead. Now finishing the kills that they need. Just T-Champ
that's-
alive again.
However, I think we're going to see another contest. I mean, the points only half. No, but that's a pick onto Lotus. That's the big contest
Yeah,
on.
Venture does fall. Malga
Yes.
now able to get on. Not
gonna
for
fall
long
quick.
though.
Binghamton is
Mr.
just so
Man.
staggered with like 90% on this point. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold this. The Venture's going to come back out though.
Yeah, still got one on.
Just on the point.
Fighting
Gonna
for
get hacked,
their
though.
lives.
Still not over. I don't even know who is still on this point. It's the Mauga.
It's just a
He's gonna
train
fall.
of Binghamton
Ow!
players.
And T-Champ barely makes it to the point with a game-ending EMP from Ghost. That was insane from both teams. I mean, even how long was that final point? That is probably the longest clash game I've ever seen.
Yeah, just throwing body after body onto that point. Just an infinite contest is what it seems.
Yeah, I mean
But
that's
Ball State
gonna
pulls
be
out with it.
that's gonna be the match in favor of Ball State, 4-2. Great job from both teams. Congratulations to Ball State for the win. I think that was definitely one of the best games, best matches we've seen this season.
This season, for sure.
I mean,
Yeah, great
between
showing from both teams.
between Droid on the on the Doomfist with I believe it was Spencer on the Lucio, just constant contesting. T Champ as well. I mean, I'm gonna put my MVP despite Binghamton's loss. I'm gonna put my MVP on T Champ. We saw some, or you know what? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna point out a most valuable player. I think Lotus did a phenomenal job on the Cassidy. We saw almost a game, or at least at the time, a game-saving 4K on the Cassidy coming back, perfect picks, being able to just do an amazing job at keeping control of the game, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, last point, you just get a little too staggered, and I think that's the only reason Binghamton lost that last map.
Yeah, like you said, both teams were playing incredibly well, and we see the back and forth throughout the games. Binghamton and then Ball State, and then Binghamton, then Ball State, and really was just a back and forth, grueling battle for both. And Ball State just seems to walk away with it just barely here, especially after that last point on Clash.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think that was just truly an incredible game. Um, to round it out, again, congratulations to Ball State moving on. I'm not sure which team they'll be facing yet, but tune in, I believe, 2 weeks from now for the finals. Maybe next week, I'm not sure, depending on the Thanksgiving schedule. Uh, Great job to both teams. Thank you all for watching. We had a lot of activity in chat today, a lot of viewers. So thank you guys for coming out to the stream. Thank you for being here, and please make sure to come for the finals, because if this was semifinals and it was this crazy, I can't imagine how high octane the next one will be. So again, thank you to everyone. I've been Althea. I was joined by Inferno and our observer Beldia. Thank you guys. Make sure to tune in tomorrow for League of